Hello, hello, and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home. It's so good to be here with you today. Good morning, and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home. The garden is looking so beautiful on this last day of April. Yes, it is the last day of April. It is cold here in my Zone 6 garden. It's been very cold and chilly this April, and dry as well. But however, the garden speaks of the beauty of the morning, and I'm just impressed with how gorgeous it is here in my garden. Things are still coming alive in such a unique way. I love the tulips and the daffodils together. The trees are starting to unfold their leaves, and everything has decided that it is time to wake up. Even though it is so cold and chilly, spring is here. It says no matter the temperature, I know the season that we're in. That is what the garden is saying to me. I know that it is spring. Therefore, I am going to awaken, even if the weather does not want to do that too. Hopefully, we will get some rain in the month of May, so that when I plant out my seedlings, they will grow and I wouldn't have to use a lot of water. But in the meantime, in spite of the lack of rain that I would like, the garden is looking very green and healthy. I think also it's because of the dew that is in the grass and the coolness of the temperatures. It's just keeping everything fresh still. And my tulips are showing up. I am grateful. I want to give you an update on my David Austin rose, Olivia Rose Austin. She is looking very, very good. I love how the sun is shining on the leaves, and they are definitely branching out. I am very happy about that. I also planted in the pot with the rose some alyssum. I think it's going to look pretty here in this pot with the alyssum and the rose. And then in this pot, it's become like a catch-all. And I had planted last year the sedum, and they've returned. But I also seeded some alyssum here, and they're growing out too. And I had some extra Johnny Jump Ups, and they're in there as well. During the season, I had a pumpkin, and I put it in here in this pot, and then it became mushy, but it dropped some of the seeds in the pot. So this is a pumpkin. start, and this one as well. I think that is so special. This is the fig start that I had. I don't know if it's coming back, but it definitely has rooted, so I'm just going to leave it there and hopefully it will leaf out. But this is what this pot looks like. It's so cute to me. And then I have all of my winter sowing pots here that eventually will need to be transplanted. They're doing very, very well. This is Verbena Benencia, and there are a lot of seedling starts there. This one is Forget-Me-Nots, and this one I forget. Oh, that's Snapdragons. And this one is the Chasta Daisy. And then in this pot I have Clematis, or Cleome, and they're seeding as well. You can see the seeds there. The seed starts. It's so cold that I'm hesitant to take them out of the container. I also have here the cabbage that's gaining its second leaf. It's actually doing very well here in the bottle. I did release, and I'll show you what I did. This was the perennial mix that was in the container, and I'm going to show you how I divided the and took them out of the bottle. But you can see that they're pretty happy here. And I just covered it up with this because, as I said, the nights have been so cold. So later on I will uncover it so that it can get some sun. Now I want to share with you this, that I went to the garden center, and what did they have? They had mints, these 4-inch containers, and they look so healthy. So this is a spearmint. I got a rosemary, orange mint here. Isn't that pretty? And also, what's this? Apple mint. Apple mint. It smells so good. I already cut some and made some tea with it. So I just have to decide what I'm going to do with them. I think I'm going to put them in a pot this year instead of just allowing them to run wild. Since I do have a lot, and they did speak of mixing and how they lose their flavor because when you place them together, they tend to cross-pollinate. So I think I'm going to put them in their own individual pots and let them grow out in the garden. But I thought that was a great find. $5. Don't you think that's beautiful? $4.99. What a wonderful buy. It smells so good. I have here in this bottle the perennial mix that I had received from the Dollar Tree. It is the perennial mix, the American seeds, and it's just a mixture of perennials in here. And I decided that I wanted to try out that alternative soil to see if anything would grow in it. And yes, I can say that it has been successful, that these seeds have sprouted here, and these are perennial seeds of all different kinds, and that the winter sowing method does work in my region. And so I think that this has been a success, this whole process. So what I want to do is to take them out and kind of divide it up a bit and put it in this pot here so that they can grow on. If you look at the bottom here, you'll be able to see that there are a lot of good roots here at the bottom, and that this is just telling me that it's time for them to come out of this pot. I may decide to split them up even more when they get a little bigger, but for right now I just think that they need some nutrients because they're very yellow still, and I'm wondering if they're iron deficient because of the fact that this is not soil. This is coconut husk, and this is compost, so I know that they will come up and they will flourish with the compost more so than just being in this coconut husk. But I think this is good as a seed starter material for plants. So what I'm going to do is just try to see if I can gently just take them out of here. I don't know. Maybe I could just pull this off. I can just get my hand underneath it. So I was able to get it out, and what I'm going to do is just to separate them gently. You can see different plants here. Kind of tease it apart. So I've gently kind of teased them apart here, and try to give them some space. We'll see what grows and what doesn't grow and what's able to be maintained. I know that this is not the best way to really grow plants, but and seedlings. So I put them in the pot, and I don't know if anything will come of it, but I did find out what I wanted to know, and I'm going to just try them out and see what happens next with it. Well, last week I potted up some callas that I gotten from Costco, and they seem to be doing all right. And now I got this order from QVC Robertas Gardens. I didn't remember ordering Calla Lilies, but I must have ordered them like in January, February, when they give their special. Look at that. Anyway, I ended up getting these bulbs, and so I'm going to pot them up, and I'm going to have a lot of callas in my garden this year. That's going to be very, very beautiful and very interesting. So their colors are different. They're colorful callas, and I don't know exactly which kind I'm going to get, but they worked for me in the past, and I believe that they will continue to do well for me now. Now these are the sample of colors that are possible. which is great. And I love the fact that they give really good step-by-step information. And yes, I did plant my other callas correctly. It says plant two bulbs together. Plant 1 or 2 bulbs together, rounded side down, into 6-inch pots, or combine more into larger pots. Pots must have drainage holes. If planting bulbs into the garden itself, wait until the ground is permanently thawed. Partial sun is best. Cover the top of the bulbs with only 3 to 4 inches of soil. Water the plants thoroughly. In pots, you may place plants outside in partial sun as long as evening temperatures stay above 50 degrees Fahrenheit. In the garden, the bulbs will sprout when the soil temperature rises sufficiently, usually around early June. Planted now, each bulb will produce luxurious trumpet-shaped flowers about 15 inches tall with glossy green or silver speckled foliage. So I am going to plant these in, and I think that last year I had planted all 6 of them in one container, but this year I think I'm going to do like what I did before and just put 2 of them, or maybe 3, in a container. And I do have a lot of pots, so this should work out fine. This is how the Robertas bulbs, Calla Lily bulbs look, and they're a little bit smaller than the ones from Costco, but this one here is sprouting already, so you can kind of see that the rounded bottom, that's the bottom, and then the top, that's where they would sprout out from. So I think that is the, now this one's a little tricky but that you could tell most of them what is the rounded top and the bottom and the tops. So I'm going to soak them a little bit and then plant them in soil. Now the soil that I got was this, approved for organic growers. I went and I picked up this Bar Harbor Blend organic and natural potting soil, and it is from the coast of Maine, and it has enriched with compost, lobster meal, and kelp meal, natural slow release nitrogen. So what I'm going to do is put that in these pots that I have. These pots are pots that I got last year with my roses that I bought last year, but instead I'm going to put the Calla Lily bulbs in them and leave the bulbs in them for the year. I'm not going to be transplanting them out into other pots or into the ground. So this is where they're going to live their summer out. Therefore, inside I place the compost at the bottom, so they'll get plenty of nutrients, and then with the potting soil at the top, they will also be quite healthy. I think I'm going to also add some fertilizer in there, the garden tone, and I think that that should really keep them for the year, and they'll do very well here in these pots and in my garden. So I'm going to fill up these 3 pots with the organic natural potting soil from coast of Maine and this Harbor Blend. I'm going to just fill it up. It's nice and light and loamy, so I think it's going to be good stuff for these Calla Lilies. So going to kind of just mix it in a little bit so that some of the compost is up in it as well, because this is very light stuff. And we know that over time the roots are going to go down into that compost. But this is pretty decent stuff, and I like how it's mixing up together here in this pot. Okay, now let's take a look at the bulbs, the callas, and let's put them inside the pot. So I'm going to use this one here, and we plant, just press it in. It's one, that's two, and let's get a third one, maybe one of the smaller ones too. So this is the smoothest side, and that's the side that it'll come up on. So we will just place them in like that, and just get some more of the soil, just cover it up like that. And that's it, one down. All right, let's work on the next one. I filled up the two pots with some more of the other soil and mixed them in. So now we're going to plant these in. Just going to try and evenly distribute it across. These plumped up really nice. I think putting it in water makes a great difference with these bulbs, that it really assists in the process of making them more plumped and ready to produce. We have these little ones here. I'm just going to just pop them in here like that. So these are going to look really good. So now I'm just going to cover them up, and I have to make sure that I label these pots so I can remember what I put in each of the pots. I have to water them in real well, and then find a nice warm location for them. So that's it. I have the 3 pots of Calla Lilies, of the Robertas Calla Lily, in these 3 pots, and we're going to be able to put them in different parts of the garden. It's going to add some really great beauty to the garden. Well, if you liked this video, I hope that you will like and subscribe and join me here at Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow, 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 grow together as the garden continues to change and form. There's so many new and exciting things that are going to be happening, and I want you to be a part of that number, to be with us here at Catherine's Garden and Home. So thank you to my subscribers and those that have been a part, and welcome to new subscribers too. I'm glad that you've decided to come and join us here at Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow, 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 grow together. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Yes, see you next time right here at Catherine's Garden and Home. Bye. For more videos, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And thank you so much for watching. See you next time right here in Catherine's Garden. Bye.